Hey guys, so I'm just putting in a rough sketch, a rough outline of these roses. Today I'm working on a 12 by 12 inch canvas. The color I'm using to sketch with is just a little watered down cadmium red. So here I'm going in and putting in the centers of the rose. Just trying to hollow out the center. I'm just sort of suggesting where some shadows are in the crevices and where there might be some petals. This is really just a rough outline, sort of putting in the basic shapes and colors of each rose. And we'll go back in and refine it later. And up here I'm picking out some of the lighter highlights. The really deep dark reds that you're seeing are alizarin crimson mixed with some black. The highlights are just alizarin crimson mixed with white. The palest pink flowers are just a cadmium red mixed with white. The orange that I used is a vermilion, which is like an orangey red. Now I'm just going in and trying to put some greenery in the crevices and have all the leaves that are coming out at the edges. The green is a mixture of cadmium yellow, ultramarine blue, and some white. So I made the bottom rose a bright orange because it has a lot of orange highlights, and I wanted to get the brightest color down first so that hopefully I can maintain that light highlight. The orange rose is gonna be a dark red, but because the orange is so transparent, I wanted to go ahead and put it on the white canvas, so hopefully it'll shine through with the deep red in the end. Orange is so transparent, it's really hard to layer orange on top of red, which is much darker. I'm looking at my reference image and I'm noticing that the rose was a little bit too small, so I was trying to add some more petals, make it wider, and then I'm just going back in with some more darks and trying to heighten the contrast and find all the little nooks and crannies. There's a little spiral inside this rose, like a little Fibonacci sequence. So the darks look a little harsh right now, but I will go back over them and tone them down. So I started to put this sky blue color in the background and I noticed it was a little bit too dark for my liking, so I go back into this color with white and I try to lighten it up a little bit so it's not so bright. So I'm going back around the painting again and I'm trying to add some more darks, trying to heighten that contrast and make everything kind of pop off the page more. To darken the center, I did add a little bit of that vermilion red, that orangey red to the pink. One thing that I noticed a little bit later when I stood back is I got a little petal happy with this one pink rose at the bottom. It ended up putting a little bit too much petals on it and had to go back and cut around the edges to get rid of some of them. And these petals are kind of confusing sometimes. They kind of trick your eye and it's kind of hard to tell what you're looking at sometimes. Like, which petal am I painting now in this layer? I do try to look at my reference image to get these petals in, but I also like to be spontaneous too, and sometimes I just kind of do my own petals, whatever kind of looks good to me. But yeah, you will see later in the video that I will go back into that bottom pink rose and I will cut around the edges and take some of those bottom layers of petals off. There were really just too many petals on that rose. They started to look kind of like a stack of pancakes. Well, I guess if pancakes were pink, that is. So I will say this painting, it really starts to come alive once I put all of the blue background in around everything. It just really starts to solidify the piece. I was actually really happy with this color combination of the really pale pinks and these deeper reds and fuchsias. And I turned that upside down so that I could cut around the edges a little easier. Sometimes it's hard when it's sitting in your easel at the bottom there. But also some people do turn their paintings upside down so that they can see the shapes better, and you can see if anything looks kind of off if you turn it upside down. Now this is where I'm trying to fix that bottom rose and trying to get rid of some of those extra petals that I didn't need. These roses are a little tricky when you're staring at them for so long. You get lost in the petals, and especially when they're so layered like that, it's kind of like, which petal am I looking at now? You kind of have to number the petals in the layers that they're in to keep up with which one you're painting. So I think that these large flowers at the top that are this pale pink are peonies. They could be roses, but I'm not sure from the reference photo. I like to think that they're peonies. Now I'm just going back around the image and putting in a lot more greenery, a lot more leaves, trying to add more depth, make things look more layered. I really like the contrast in this painting, and again we're working with complementary colors. The green and red are complementary, as well as orange and the blue. That's the thing that I really like about acrylic paint. It's so easy to layer. Everything dries so quickly. When you're working on one area, then the next area dries and you can just work around the painting. And if you're impatient in a certain area, you can always get your blow dryer and blow it dry really quickly and then do another layer. I really love the richness of oil paints and how they're more opaque than acrylics. It's easier to lay them down, but you know, it's a lot more time consuming waiting for layers to dry before you can put a new layer down. And you know, you don't want your painting to turn into like a muddy mess. So I really enjoy the immediacy of working with acrylic paint. So here I'm putting in these little buds. I'm not sure exactly what these are. I found these kind of challenging to paint because in the reference photo it's kind of difficult to see exactly what's going on with these and exactly what color they are, but I think they're somewhere between pink and green, and I think I ended up putting too many of them in, and so I go back later and try to cut in around them and thin them out a little bit. But yeah, those were like my least favorite thing to paint in this painting. So I took a little break and I came back and I forgot to turn my lamp on, so the canvas is a little more grainy looking in these shots, but later on I'll turn my light back on and you can see it better. But I really like how everything's starting to take shape. So I'm going back over this bottom rose and trying to put more red in it and still allowing those orange highlights to show through. It's just so difficult with acrylic paint to allow orange and yellow to show up without putting white under it. So that's why I painted the rose orange first. You can see my confusion with these little buds, not knowing what color they are. I went back over them several times. I even added like an orange color and a green and a purple, and I think in the end I just go over it with pinks and purple and decided that's probably the best color. It was difficult to know what I was looking at in my reference photo, but I think it turned out okay. Okay guys, this is the finished painting, and I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. I love the colors. I feel like these colors look so good together. These are the first dark roses I've ever painted, and I just love the contrast with this very pale pink. I think it has a good color harmony. Here's Mr. Clover. He has found a great sunny spot to sleep, and he is not waking up. Not even the dogs hitting him in the face with their tail can wake him. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to hit the like and subscribe video for more painting videos. Say goodbye to Clover.